We are back, people. What is up? Big news going on today. Very surprising. Was not. Okay, so three, two, one. Wow. Did I go live? Okay. I don't. My streaming got really messed up, so I had to like restart stuff and go over. And so if my audio and video quality's off, I had to reset my OBS, so all my settings got reset. So I wasn't planning on going live today, so I hadn't had a chance to fix it. But big news just happened breaking. My favorite player, Jaylen Waddle, has officially been traded to the Denver Broncos. I am obviously upset. I'm usually not against trading in like these types of situations. Uh, they did get a fairly decent haul. They got basically, if you haven't seen what the odds were, but we are giving them Waddle in our fourth round pick, and we are getting a first, a third, and then we're getting their fourth. So it's basically a fourth round swap. That doesn't mean much. So we move back a little bit in the fourth. We're basically getting a first and a third for Jaylen Waddle. Very surprising. I am interested to see how. I know this technically is supposed to negatively affect our cap, and I would imagine with the picks they got that they're not going to get any like cap relief from the Broncos, but that's the reason I didn't expect it to happen. I am very surprised. Wow. First and a third. It was basically a first and a third, and we swapped fourth rounders. Wow. It's just, it's not a bad trade. It's just Waddle's my favorite player, and I was honestly not expecting it to happen. I knew there was all the rumblings in the offseason, but my friends are all texting me. Yeah. Wow. Now, I mean, this definitely changes draft a lot. Wide receiver, literally, it was one of the. I wouldn't say it was not the biggest need for Miami, but it was up there. It was probably like third or fourth biggest need. Now it's probably the biggest need if you really look at that room. Sorry, I really do have to fix my audio settings after this because it definitely got messed up. Wow. It is not a bad haul, trying to take bias out of it. I love Waddle. The haul itself is not bad. A first and a third, that's basically what Buffalo offered last in, like, that's what the rumor was. They were offering a 2027 first and a third round pick. This looks like it's going to be pick 30, so it's a late first. Pick 30 is not the greatest, and it's going to be a late third, and then you swap your fourth rounder, so your fourth round goes back a little bit. But the Dolphins have so many. Dolphins now have four third round picks. Oh man. Wow. Waddle is now their best receiver. I think, yeah, I mean, when you consider situation, it's not the most surprising thing. But now we have pick 11, pick 30, pick 43, 75, 87, 90, 94, 130, 151, 227, 238. They're really going after it. We have 11 picks now in this class. Uh, we'll always love Waddle. He'll always be one of my favorite players. uh, you know, now at 11, I mean, it was just reported like literally a few days ago that they were bringing in Makai Lemon for a visit. Now guys like Lemon, Tyson, Tate are all realistic options at 11. Like they weren't they now become very realistic. They could still wait and maybe take a receiver at 30, but now receiver becomes super likely with one of your first few picks. Yeah. What's the cap relief? Cap is actually gonna. I don't think it actually you get any cap relief this year unless they like, you know, the Broncos took on some of that salary. We won't know until we see the details. But a pre-first trade for Waddle is actually supposed to like negatively affect your cap. I don't know how they're gonna make it work because it actually would make them go under zero. Obviously, it's not official yet, and I'm sure there's some sort of way they can work around it. I'm not a cap expert, so we'll see what the people who understand cap have to say about that. But looking at it now, it will definitely help your cap situation the next 2 years, like because those numbers will be off the books at least. But wow, It's unfortunate it's a late first. Yeah, but yeah, it's a late first and a third. I mean, I was never expecting like an early first, obviously. Maybe a middle first would have been nice, but it seemed like all the teams that wanted to trade for Waddle were playoff teams anyway, so it was probably always going to be a late first if you traded him. Finally, a move by the new regime that I can support. Wow. I mean, they better give Malik Willis a fair chance now. They just got rid of his best weapon. Like, they better get some people around him. Now I'm going to have to go super deep into wide receiver class. And all wide receivers are on the table now. Like, I feel like all types of receivers should be on the table. Like, big and small, medium sized, quick, fast, jump ball guys. Like, every type of receiver should be on the table. You can double up on receiver in the draft. You know, maybe you get one quicker, fast guy. And then you get one bigger body guy. Maybe you take Makai Lemon early, and then you take Malachi Fields in the middle rounds or something like that. You know, that's just a hypothetical. Lemon will be there at 30. I don't think he will. I've heard some of that like interview stuff was uh he actually didn't interview as badly as people were saying. And like there's not really like off-field issues. You know, at least when he was with USC, he didn't really have any issues. I wouldn't look too much into that you know, his weird interviews. Wow. Yeah, didn't Waddle just said he was going to beat the shit out of Patrick Surtain. Now he has the opportunity. Now Waddle can box Surtain. Yeah, you said it right as I was saying it. Wow. Because Denzel Boston, Jacoby Lane are good. I don't really think. Would you be mad to get Francis Mauigoa? No, I would not. But I also am not a huge fan of Boston or Lane. I actually think Boston's not bad. Lane is not good in my opinion. I don't think he translates very well to the next level. Who could be realistic at 30? I mean, now when we're doing mocks, it's completely changed. I put out a mock draft yesterday. Now I have a pick at 30 and another third round pick. I mean, let me go. I mean, I could literally go and look at what pick 30 would look like. I don't have another scene right now because my OBS reset, so I can't show you guys, but like, I'll tell you. I'm on PFN. Oh, hold on. Hopefully we didn't just freeze. It is lagging a bit. Nope, we're good. Yeah, I got a new SD card, so my stream should not be crashing. We can just do first round. Miami, enter solo draft. Okay, get me to pick 11 real quick. Pick 11, I'm just gonna take someone, well, we'll take Lemon. Fuck it, it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to get to pick 30 and see what they have on the board. So at pick 30, the top options are, at least with how this board fell, Caden McDonald, CJ Allen, Kristen Miller, Colton Hood, Ty Simpson, TJ Parker would be a really good option at 30. Max Ionacker, the Arizona State tackle, would be a really good option. You know, maybe Chase Besantis, the Texas A&M guard. A lot of the guys we were considering at 43, you could still be maybe potential guys at 30 as well. Maybe that's where you take Zion Young, because I've always taken Zion Young a lot in 43, and like I don't think he'll be there at 43. So players like that become, you know, yeah, Casey Concepcion, but apparently Casey Concepcion just had like knee surgery, so that's a big question mark for him now. Wow. Yep, Waddle traded, man. I mean, if you traded Waddle, might as well at least considering trading Achane if anyone offers something worth it. If they don't offer something worth it, but now it's like, yeah, you're trading Waddle, you're pretty much thinking of some full-on reset. Sign Njoku, but with what cash? Let's see, did any other details come out about this trade? Wow. Lots of draft capital. I think the haul itself is fair. I'm a huge Waddle fan, so. Yeah, didn't his guarantee just get, like, it just got guaranteed the other day? That makes it very shocking. He said part of value for Broncos. Denver is on the hook for around $5 million of Waddle's 2026 money per source. Miami has already paid much of his 2026 guarantee. Denver can rework his deal, which goes through 2028. So it seems financially we didn't get much help, which is kind of surprising. That's the reason I never thought he was gonna get traded. I guess this really just comes down to who you end up able to draft, but yeah, this feels like a more full reset type of situations now. Mm. If the okay, so someone Nick Corte, who is the over the cap guy, he said if the Dolphins were going to trade Jaylen Waddle, it needed to happen before this Friday, when a 15.417 option bonus was due. Denver will be due 17.241 million in salary to Waddle for 20, but if they exercise the option, the 2026 cap hit will only be 4.3 million. Interesting. So the Dolphins, if they were going to trade him, had to be traded before this Friday coming up. I'm just reading stuff. Wow. My Michael Thomas says, "Oh, you mean Brian Thomas?" I mean, I Brazil in the second for me. I mean, yeah, but that also doesn't super excite me. I mean, you need a receiver one, and people were arguing even if Waddle was receiver one, and like I can see Brazil being a solid number two. I mean, I guess you're as I've said, you're not going to fill every need in one off season, but I don't know. Receiver at 11 has become a lot more enticing to me, at least. It obviously depends who's there, but I do like some of the top receivers. I like Tate, Lemon, and Tyson, all three of them for what they are. I know there's question marks with Tyson's about the injury, which concerns me, but I do really like Tate and Lemon. Wow. Yep, we'll see. This is a huge starting point for Sully. He's got a lot of picks in the top 100. A lot. Like you got to be able to hit on a chunk of them. You're not going to hit every pick, but like you have how many picks is it now? So I mean, off the top of my head, it's 11, it's 30, it's 43, and then you traded away pick 111, and I think that was for pick like 130. So you swapped four, so you're later there. But then you have those three, and then you have four third round picks. It's like 75 and 80, and then two in the 90s. So what is that? Seven. They have seven top 100 picks. Hey, at least the draft will be exciting, which is my favorite part of the offseason. And arguably, I like the draft even more than the regular seasons sometimes. But I don't know. Sadiq is a no brainer. Is he? If he falls to 30, he's a no brainer maybe. But at 11, it's a little early for me. And I just don't think he's the best pick at 11, personally. Being a USC fan, I'm higher on Jacoby Lane than Lemon. I think Lemon is 10 times better than Jacoby Lane, personally. And I'm also a USC fan. I mean, I grew up a USC fan. I don't really have a college team anymore, but I did grow up a USC fan, and I do still pay attention. And just watching the film, like Lane, I don't think translates well to the next level. He really struggles with physicality for a guy of his size. And I think Lemon is the best receiver in the class, just based on film. Wow. Let me see what traded to Denver with the first for 20. Yeah, we got a first and a third. Wow. If Vegas drops us below 3 wins, I'm putting over money on the over. I mean, yeah, we'll still get some wins, but wow. I live in Southern California, so I know. I mean, so did I. First 24 years of my life, I lived in Southern California. Uh, wow. Yeah. They basically got what they were gonna get from Buffalo. It's not a bad haul. It's just I was surprised by it, especially considering I think it's gonna hurt them cap wise. Sorry, I just gotta respond to dumb people. Mm, 34 going on 35. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean you know USC players better, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't really mean you know any like where you're from does not make you understand players better than others. Like, I mean, I've seen the film. Makai Lemon is so much better than Jacoby Lane in almost every facet of being a receiver. Right? Is there a player Sully would trade up with 11 and 30? I mean, I don't think so. Unless they fell in love with like Sonny Styles. This just doesn't feel like the draft to trade up in. And from what I've seen from Sully and what I've heard, he doesn't seem like he wants to give up too many picks. So Waddle was nothing special. He was okay at best. Guys, it's okay to, try to cope with things, but we can be realistic. Waddle was very good. We got a good haul for him, but Waddle was very good. Being small and fast does not always qualify doing great next level. Never said it did. Lemon's game is much bigger than being small or fast. He plays bigger than Jacoby Lane. He's better at the catch point than Jacoby Lane. He's tougher than Jacoby Lane. He has better context balance than Jacoby Lane. Way better in contested situations. He's better at versus zone. He's better versus man. Uh, Jacoby Lane's taller, and he's a pretty good athlete, but he's quite soft. We're starting over. Don't be surprised if they trade Achan for lots of pits. I mean, if someone's offering something for Achan, it's definitely more likely now. He was injured all the time, though. I think that I've talked about that narrative a lot. It's a little bit overrated. Waddle has played a vast majority of snaps every season of his career. He has missed some time with injury, but like not even close to like the worst on the team when it comes to missing time with injury. Most time when he goes out with injury, he misses like one play. So it just gets kind of overplayed, I think. Is that right? I mean, I don't think the Denver fourth round pick. From what I heard, the Denver fourth round pick was like 130, and we were 111. So we moved back in the fourth, got a third, got the first. No way we comparing Lemon to Lane right now. I mean, hey, I'm just trying to say, ran into the water. I think this caught him by surprise. I bet it did. Need two huge wide receivers with two and Mohawk guy. I mean, I think we just need good receivers at this point. I don't care what size they are, because none of our receivers are. There's not a receiver on the roster that's a number 2 or number 1. So you can add a guy with size. You can add a guy that's a little smaller. As long as they're good, I don't really care. Damn. Wow, this next year's gonna be interesting. Very interesting that they go for Malik Willis and then trade away Waddle. I mean, let's see if anything else has been said. Yeah, I mean, honestly, receiver at 11. Receiver at 11. This feels pretty likely. Sorry, I'm just reading stuff, trying to see. Seems like people are pretty surprised. Everyone's like, a lot of people who don't follow Miami, like I'm seeing their tweets, like people are surprised Miami got a first. I don't think they understand how good Waddle is. They're probably not watching the film. He's also quite young, and his contract's not like crazy expensive for that type of player. But I will say, receiver is just one of those positions I'm always looking for in the draft because I think it's one of the easiest positions to draft. Lemon or Cooper? Ooh, dude, if Omar Cooper was there at 30, that'd be a home run pick. I doubt he will be, though. But I would be down for Omar Cooper. But Omar Cooper would be like a trade back at 11 option. Oh. I'd rather trade down than take a receiver at 11. I mean, yeah, I think you're always trying to trade down, but it just depends on if people actually offer that. Oh, dude, I literally had just gotten off. I check my phone and then I just see. Literally was like posted a minute ago and I see that Waddle thing. I was very surprised. He has to pass a physical. I don't think Waddle has had like I know people have talked about Waddle's injury history. I feel like people that don't pass physicals are guys that have like major injuries, and I don't think Waddle hasn't had a major injury since college. So I'd be pretty surprised. I mean, I wouldn't be mad. Manuel at 30. I mean, I would be down with that if he's there. I like Emmanuel McNeil Warren. He would be an option. I think the last time the Dolphins picked at 30, they took Noah Igbenogany. That's just off the top of my head. I don't remember if it was actually pick 30, but it was around there. But he did have a lot of drops. To be fair, last year Waddle only had like 3 drops last year. Are you happy with the trade? I don't know if happy is the right word. I don't know if I'll ever be happy trading Waddle. I think from just a value wise, like if you look at like a trade chart and you look at the players and the picks you're getting, I think value wise, it's pretty good. Like I don't know if you're gonna ever get much better, and I think his value probably as the years go on just go down and down. So this is probably the best value you would get for him, or something around this. Uh, so from that perspective, I think you can be happy. But I just love Waddle, so I'm not gonna be super happy about it. We'll see what they do with it. I think it just comes down to what their plan is now, and because it was always more of a long term thing, anyways. I just thought Waddle was someone who could be a part of the long term figures. Does Tayin or Tyson make into 11? I mean, I think one of the top 3 will at least be there. 11 receiver wise, I wouldn't be surprised if both are there. But he didn't have a good year last year without Hill. Who, Waddle? Yes, he did. The stats might not show it, but like yes, he did. He was very good last year. The Dolphins just became a run first team, so they weren't throwing the ball often. But when Waddle was getting the ball, getting targets, or even just watching him not get targets, he was very good. You trust me now? No. What does this change? This is known as PS2, not PS3. Okay. Dude, I would do a mock, but I don't have. Oh God. I'm not kidding. I don't think I have another scene right now I can switch to. My OBS, I literally had to completely reset my PC. I got a new SD card, and now it looks like my streams aren't crashing, so that's good. But I didn't have a chance to, since my OBS reset, I didn't have a chance to change my settings back. So I literally just put on a video capture device that showed my camera, so I don't have a scene where I can go and actually show my screen. So if I did a mock, you guys wouldn't be able to see it. So I would have to do that next time. I was just trying to get on here and talk. Does this free up cap space? I don't. I think it actually hurts cap, but we'll see what actually it ends up doing. Do you like Makai Lemon? Yes, he's my number 1 receiver. There's no way we use all the picks this year. I'll put money in solely moving picks for 2027. I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't think it's a guarantee. I think there'll be some trades. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some involve 2027. We can't afford to pay all these draft picks. I'm pretty sure they can afford it. What? Because Chubb's a post June 1st. Post June 1st, Chubb will get you 20 million in cap space, so they can afford to sign all of those guys. I think 11 picks. It'll probably get bumped up now with an extra third round pick, but before that it was like 5 mil, so now it's probably up a little bit. But they can afford to sign them once post June 1st money clears. Do you think any of the receivers in this draft have the capability of being better than Waddle? I think a few of them have the capability. Like, it wouldn't surprise me, but like if Waddle was in this draft class, he would be my receiver 1. So, but you have to also take in, he's obviously older than the guys in the draft class. He's going to be more expensive, so that plays a part. But do you like Keldrick Falk now? But wide receivers in this draft are an upgrade to Waddle. I don't know if any of them are an upgrade. I think 3 have a chance to potentially be better, but I don't know if any of them will actually be better. Like, I wouldn't put money on it. But you also have to consider the other things I just talked about. Yes, they received 30, and yeah, I don't remember what exactly, but it was a pick in the 90s, and then they get 130, and they basically swap it for it. Should have kept Tyreek. Why? What's the point of keeping Tyreek? Coming off that major knee injury? Gonna have to pay him pointless money in a season you're, kind of rebuilding. Yeah. He does not miss many games. Guys, I don't think Omar Cooper's making it to 30. I've seen a lot of you mention that. I would love Omar Cooper at 30. I don't think he makes it there. Francis, then Cooper. Hey, if you got Francis Mauigoa and then Omar Cooper, that'd be a great haul. It feels kind of unrealistic to me, though, but it would be us. I would be very happy with that. Finns dropped their best player. Achan's still on the team. Lemon, Brazel, Boston, Bernard get 2 of these. I mean, I could get down with that. But it would have to be like a combination. Waddle gets hit and has to come off the field. There are 8 receivers in the draft who can plug in right away, and they are more effective. Come on, guys. Come on. What's the injury with Concepcion? Apparently he had like a knee scope done. It does not free up money, by the way. Dylan Thieneman? Yeah, I would still take Dylan Thieneman. For sure. I mean, all those other positions I still think you can definitely take at 11 or 30. But now receivers just gone to the top of the list in terms of need, and I think from like a value perspective, some of those guys make sense at 11. What do you mean it doesn't free up money? It hurts the cap space this year. You have less money this season. It'll free up cap next year, but you already had over 120 million cap next year, so I don't think the Achane extension has anything to do with it. Like, you could already extend Achane whether Waddle was here or not. Go to over the cap and look at trading him pre-June 1st, and you'll see that it will, at least according to over the cap and Spot Track, trading him pre-June 1st negatively affects the cap. I'm not a cap expert, so maybe they're wrong, but they're the cap expert people. You get 23 million dead money, and you're supposed to lose 11 million cap savings. But I mean, technically, I'm pretty sure they can. We don't know the exact deal with Denver, but who knows? Trade for AJ Brown. If they traded Waddle just to then trade those picks for AJ Brown, I would be so pissed off. Broncos are paying all future money out to Waddle, including full salary this year. I mean, I've just seen some. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I saw some other reports though that said the Dolphin or Broncos were only on the hook to pay like 5 mil. First source, Broncos are paying all future money owed Waddle, including full salary this year. So we'll see what that does. So maybe it does help with the cap, but we don't know. I don't know exactly what that means. Why are you guys so high on Waddle? He's been straight up undependable. I would say I just watch film and I know what I'm looking at. I mean, he's been very good for Miami. Now, is the move still a solid value for him? Yeah. But there's a reason he just went for a first and third round pick. It's because he's very good. So we save a total of 50 mil this year? I don't think that's how it works. I don't know. I'll wait to see how Over the Cap updates it. They'll tell me. You didn't see any decline in his play at all the last 2 seasons? Statistically his play declined a bit, but I would actually argue his play at least last season, just like from like his weakness perspective, I think he improved his weaknesses last year in comparison to years in the past, and I would say his strengths were still the exact same. He just didn't get as many targets. It literally just comes down to a opportunity situation. Bit arrogant, that writer. I mean, sometimes. I'm not gonna deny it. I just, I just know a lot of people, they try to have these strong opinions, and I know they only watch the games live. So it's like you can't really have an opinion about a receiver when you don't watch the film. It's fine to be like it's just, do you actually watch the film? If you watch the film, respect to you. We see things differently. That's fine. But if you watch the games live, you really are only seeing like 10% of the picture of what a receiver's actually doing. And I'll get things wrong, but if there's one hill I will die on, because I've gotten things wrong before, but there's one thing that I'm like, I will die on this hill, and I feel very confident in this take, is Waddle is very good. Not saying he's not elite, but he's very good. He didn't get as much yards last season because the Dolphins' offense wasn't throwing the ball as much. There was a time Tyreek went down with injury. The first few games, Waddle was getting a lot of targets because they were still throwing the ball a ton, and he was being very effective and efficient with those targets. Then they became more of a run first team, and the targets just went down. And it was smart for the offense as a whole, but it just created less opportunities for him. So obviously his stats will naturally go down. Ryder, do you think Devon is next? It's a possibility. It just really depends if anyone's offering anything. Is he a one though? I mean, I think arguably he's not like a top end one, but I think it's people try to kind of undersell what his strengths are. He's one of the most explosive, best route runners. Dog, I don't give a fuck if you played football for 13 years. That means nothing to me. You could have played for 0 years. You could have played for 100 years. That doesn't mean anything to me. Do, do, do. Literally, the best GM in the NFL. Most people say the best GM in the NFL is Howie Roseman. And doesn't have any football experience. HN would piss me off 3 times more, to be honest. Honestly, I think the one that would piss me off more is just whatever happened first, was the Waddle one, obviously. So, because once the second one happened, I'd be like, okay, now I understand where we're going. Tyson looked exactly like Waddle in his name. I like Tyson. I don't know if I would agree with that. He has more injury history than Waddle. And he has some very good like high end reps of beating man. I think he's just pretty inconsistent when it comes to like I think one thing people underestimate, and Waddle even talked about it in his Armstead thing, is like, yes, there's a lot of like guys who can run these crazy routes, beat man to man, and Waddle's very good at that. I think Tyson's very good at that. But like majority of teams just run zone. Like zone is run like 70% of the time in the NFL. So you have to be able to get to the right spot on the right timing and be exactly where your QB expects you to. I think that's something actually Waddle was quite good at. It's why we were such a timing based offense with Waddle and Tyreek, and the other players kind of struggled. It's because they couldn't get to the spots they needed to be in the timing. Um, I think that's an area Tyson struggles. So that gives me some concern with Tyson. Bryce Lance. I like Bryce Lance. I mean, we have so many third round picks. Take a million receivers now in the third. Who at pick 30 do you think will replace Waddle? Waddle's contract was terrible. It was actually very team friendly. Jeff Caldwell. I'm not a huge Jeff Caldwell fan. Da, da. Interesting. Um, I mean, yeah, Waddle's contract hadn't even hit in. Like the big extension numbers, they hadn't even hit yet. And by the time those numbers hit, like he would have been fairly low in terms of uh, like the average of what he would make in comparison to like receivers around the league. Like we just saw receivers make a lot of money in free agency. Conrad, I know you love Waddle. This move allows us to make the roster better as a whole. I mean, it gives you the opportunity. I never said it didn't. That's not what I was arguing with people. Chris Bell and Bryce Lance. I mean, Chris Bell's coming off an ACL, and I think his game is a game that kind of struggles at the next level. Interesting. Um, okay. Well, I'm pretty sure my Charlie Heck video just posted. I doubt anyone's gonna watch that. now with the Waddle trade news. Like, who cares? But I guess I'll post Robert Beal film breakdown tomorrow. Check that out. Waddle doesn't even use his hands to catch. He was a much more of a hands catcher this year. Give me Puck Douglas over Waddle any day. Good thing you played. Okay, never mind. I'll be nice. Yeah, dude, Pop Douglas is much better than Waddle. We should go trade a first round pick for him. A first and a third. I mean, might as well give up a first and a second because he's better. Don't force wide receiver in the first, in my opinion. Oh yeah, definitely don't force any position. Take best player available or take guys that make sense from a value perspective. If the receivers aren't worth it, or a receiver you don't like, don't take that receiver. I'd trade Chop away immediately. I would not. His value is not as high. Learned how to watch film from Kevin Gilbride. Good for you, man. I'm just saying Pop Douglas and Waddle are not much different. Yeah, man, for sure. They're definitely very similar. Doesn't make sense to trade Chop. Yeah, I don't think so. Especially because his value has just dropped after last season. So I don't think the value is worth it. So if you're going to try to trade Chop, and he's still young, I mean, you want to trade him after, you get the greatest play out of him. Hey, man. People are allowed to have their own opinions, but you've said some crazy things. Pop Douglas you'd rather have Pop Douglas and Waddle. You've said there's were you the one that said there were like 8 receivers that could replace Waddle and be more effective? Like, I'm sorry, but like, if those are opinions where I'm like, I'll never listen to another thing you say, like, because those are batshit insane. Like, there's a thing, you'll be wrong from time. Like, I'm wrong all the time, but like, I'm not saying batshit insane shit like that. But you are a little prick. I am being a little prick. Fair enough. But you don't have to be in the chat. We're going all in on this draft, loaded BPA no matter position. I mean, yeah, every position's almost a huge need now. I mean, they added a lot of guys in free agency, but none of them are like. It's a lot of guys who can be like role players, spot players from time to time, but nothing that like you're probably looking at long term. Donovan Edwards, he's athletic, but he's not. His vision's very poor. Sadiq's film though, Redder, don't you think he'll be elite? Elite? Personally, actually, no. I think he'll be pretty good. I'm always wrong according to my ex. I feel that eye on you. I feel that. What do you think about Keontae Scott? Dog. Absolute dog. Biggest downside is he is older. I like Sadiq, I just don't like him at 11. What are the Sleeves do taking getting Jeremiah Smith next year? How do we feel about that? I mean, Jeremiah Smith would be sick. But I feel like the only thing is like I feel like if the Dolphins are picking that high, I feel like they'll just be taking QB if they're picking that high. Thoughts on trading up for Carnell Tate? I wouldn't trade up for any of the receivers. I would take Carnell Tate at 11 though. Will that change how you view this trade if that were to happen? No. Because that trade wouldn't be. I mean, taking Jeremiah Smith next year wouldn't really have anything to do with this trade, except just maybe making you worse as a team, so you'll have a higher pick. But like I don't view tanking as a part of the process. Does it make it harder or easier to extend HN? I think you have so much money over the next 2 seasons. I don't think it really changes how you if you need to extend those guys or not. Yes, Leonard Moore is very good next year. Skylar Bell. Skylar Bell has a good film. I think Skylar Bell is another one that's just an older prospect, but he has good film. He's like the later round Lemon, similar kind of play styles. Um, going to have hope and say we're a done win team this year. Carnell Tate at 11, Colton Hood at 30, and I mean those are good values. I just don't know if Hood will be there at 30. I don't think Thieneman won't even be there at 30, so I don't think he'll be there at 45. Do the Dolphins pay for Waddle's contract or the Broncos pay it? According to Barry Jackson, apparently the Broncos are paying it, but we'll see what the official numbers are when it comes out. Any new wide receivers potentially in free agency or via trade, you think? Free agency? I don't think so. I don't. Receiver is just one of those positions like unless you're bargain shopping and getting guys for around vet minimum like Tutu Atwell or Jalen Tolbert, receivers notoriously get overpaid and like I don't think anyone really available is super intriguing. Most of them are vets. I don't think we need to bring in older guys. Receiver's just one of those positions you need to draft. Yeah. People that say Kenyon Seek's not a good blocker are kind of crazy. He's inconsistent, but there was when he became inconsistent last year, apparently he had injuries. What if Ayuk is cut? I mean, I think Ayuk's a good player, but I just don't know what's gone on over there, you know? Only saw skill in the draft. Jeremiah Smith's not in the draft. That's 2027. I think the thing is, I don't have him as an elite receiver or an elite blocker. That I kind of the reason I'm not on him at 11 because he is a bit undersized, and I do think that hurts some of his inline blocking potential. Because I actually do think he is more of an F tight end. Like he is a move F tight end. He has blocking capabilities, but it's more so in like a move F tight end role. Uh, I just don't know if his blocking will hold up in line at the next level because he was bullying. Usually, the guys he was bullying were not the greatest players at the college level. And then as a receiving prospect, I think he has elite athleticism. I still think he's figuring out the game a little bit as a receiver when it comes to like finding soft spots versus zone. Like I wish he was like I feel like for his profile, he should be an elite guy after the catch. He is unfortunately not an elite guy after the catch on tape. Um, he's good there, but he's not like super high end. And then he's a guy that can stretch the field, but I don't think he's like a supernatural catcher of the football either. But I do like Sadiq. I just don't like him at 11. Debo. I mean, I don't think Debo's worth it. I don't think these guys want a Waddle type receiver. Yeah, but I mean, where they're coming from, last year they literally took Matthew Golden, who was in the first round, and he was like I mean, he's not a Waddle exact type, but they have some smaller receivers, and him and Jaden Reed has been one of their best receivers. So I think they're looking for a mix. They just brought in Tutu Atwell, so I don't think they are necessarily against having smaller receivers. I think this was just more they thought they got good value, you know? Yeah, hey, mock drafts and the draft itself is gonna be fun. We got a lot of picks. You know what I just realized? I'm gonna have to be live all round one now. Because I was just gonna go live for the first, like, 11 picks, probably stay live and talk about it for a while after that, and then be done by like halfway. But now I'm gonna have to be live for the whole first round, pretty much, because we won't pick until 30. Those mother. uh, a short armed guard. I mean, I think Maui doesn't have super short arms. Fano has really short arms. Maui is like 33 something, which is short for a tackle, but like it's not super short. And for guard, it's not short at all. Who would you take at 30? I mean, 30 is just tough to predict. It just depends on who's there. But there are options that I like. I mean, yeah, that would be a great outcome, dub, but also, I think, fairly unrealistic. At least the Cooper part. McNeil Warren at 45 wouldn't surprise me, but I wouldn't expect it. It just seems Sadiq is going to be BPA. He'll be. I'm sure he'll be BPA for someone. He wouldn't be BPA for me. Like I'll probably have like a decent handful over him at 11. Now you know his arms are under 32. Are they? I mean, maybe I'm remembering wrong. I mean, under 32 is crazy. I mean, I can't relate. I got long arms. Like you know how your height and your wingspan are supposed to be the same, right? My wingspan is 3 inches taller than my height. His arm length is 33 and 1/4. So they're not long, but for a tackle, they're small. His wingspan's a little bit larger. I was gonna say, I'm like 31's insane. Like that's so short. uh, um, do you think they'll pick Malachi Lawrence at 30? I mean, I guess it's a possibility. I've just thought if they were going to take edge in this draft early, it would be one of the bigger-ish guys. Like Malachi's not small, but if you just look at the Dolphins' edge room, they are pretty undersized, and Lawrence is not super big. And just looking at other things, like he is a possibility. Like I think he's big enough to where they'll consider him when you consider the relative athletic score he came in with. But I just always thought they were going to go for like a 260 plus guy, and Malachi's more like 250 something. So he's just like a little bit under that, but he's a possibility at 30. I could see them liking him. I like Malachi Lawrence a lot. Fano is athletic. Oh yeah, definitely wouldn't take Fano. Maybe at 30. I've heard he's dropped. I saw a thing today where they said Fano might drop to the 20s. At 30, he becomes more intriguing. But at 11, no. I got too many question marks, and I think he's just a guard with his short arms, and also the anchor does concern me. Do you think now that Waddle got traded that Achane might be next? I think it becomes more likely, but it even seemed like the last regime wasn't super willing to move Achane. Seems like this regime has been, at least from the way they've talked and things have been rumored, seemed like Achane was always less likely to be traded. It really just depends on if someone offers something. And at this point, Like, I feel like who would offer something like the Chargers, but the Chargers did just sign Keaton Mitchell, and I feel like they're going to try to turn Keaton Mitchell into their HN. And I just feel like running back, it's hard to get good value for. Fano went from top 5 to late first. From what I've heard, he's always kind of been not have like a first round grade type player. And from watching his film, I think it's understandable. But also, I think he's one of those players like arm length. You have to meet a certain threshold, and his arm length came in really short to play tackle, and he already had question marks at tackle. And your value just drops when you go from tackle to guard. And I also have questions about him being guard. I think with Maui Noah, like if Maui Noah was just a guard, like I could still like I feel like his playstyle fits at guard. Fano, I would still have his question marks about power. And any chance we get Wilkins back? I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't never say never, but wow, very surprising. I mean, not very surprising, but it's just wasn't expected today. I did not expect to go on to Twitter and see uh, Waddle getting traded, especially because it was just like posted today about his like guarantees and stuff. Wow, I'm looking at Bills fans trying to. Bills fans are saying DJ Moore over Waddle, trying to make themselves feel better about the DJ Moore trade. That's crazy. um, yeah. So that means I feel like this honestly makes me feel like they really believe in Malik Willis, that they're willing to trade away that receiver to be like, hey, we still believe in you long term. We're taking away a weapon right away, but you have to feel like there's some sort of they probably feel they got to be some guys they like in the draft. Then wow, our dead cap is insane. But our let me see if over the cap has been uh if that's been updated yet with the Waddle thing. I mean, over the cap has us at negative 7 million now. So that's interesting. How did that happen? Yeah, they got rid of Waddle. I wonder. Okay, what? Interesting. But 2027, we now have 157 million cap space. 2028, we have 283 million because we have like no one under the books for the next couple years. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Do you still think they won't be 2-15? Honestly, no, I don't. I think they'll be like a few more wins than that. But losing Waddle definitely does hurt the team. But also, you were saying 2-15 before Waddle was traded, so I don't want to hear it from you, Nate. Okay. Um. Yeah, I don't know. Over the cap and Spot Track have us at different areas, and I know Spot Track usually accounts for. Do they have Waddle in here still? No, they don't. I don't know. They just have us at different money because they have us at 1.1. Interesting. DJ Moore is washed. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like DJ Moore is kind of lazy, not factoring Chubb post June money yet. Oh yeah, I know that's not factored in, but also the Tua hasn't been factored in. But I don't think they're taking as much this year, right? With the number thing, at least from what we heard. But yeah, I guess that's all I needed to talk about. Thank you guys for watching. Just I guess the rest of the week I'll have film breakdowns out on the guys the Dolphins have signed that I haven't made yet. Like Robert Beal will be next. I think my Charlie Heck video probably posted while I was streaming because I had it set to post. Um, yep, no one's watched it. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, I'll probably have Beal tomorrow, and then who else is there to still do? I still have to do Ben Sims. I have the clips. Uh, we'll see who else. I haven't even watched Marco Wilson. I don't even know if I'll make a video on him. But yeah, I guess the next mock draft Monday will be interesting. I still got to set up my stream and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.